somehow, some way, it is already the third quarter of 2023, and that can only mean one thing: quarterly goals refresh. What's up, my friend? Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk to you about my quarterly goals refresh. This is when I take the opportunity every quarter to look at my annual goals, which is what I have right here, and reassess and, as the power sheets say, refresh them. Give them kind of a breath of fresh air, breath of new life, look through them and be like, is this actually what I want to be working for? And picking a specific focus to focus on over the next 90 days, over the next quarter. So today we are talking about my refreshed goals right here for quarter three. And what I did do is some of them I kind of refreshed the verbiage in its entirety, and some of the goals I actually took an element of that goal. So for example, like my marriage goal, and I picked one specific thing that I want to focus on for the next 90 days. So it's a little bit of a combination of the two. I'm really excited about what Q3 has to offer. Let's dive right in. My first goal on my annual goals list is to become my fittest and strongest self. And all I did was add one extra word to that goal. Otherwise, it is word for word exactly what my annual goal focus is. My goal refresh for Q3 is to become my fittest, strongest, and most confident self. More on how that's going to happen in a future video. For my annual goal of declutter our home, I opted for a use what I have focus for Q3. As you know by now, I go through phases of wanting to acquire all the things and wanting to get rid of all the things. It's just a cyclical nature of how I function. I can't explain it, but I am definitely in a use up what I have phase, which is great. So the focus this quarter is going to be to do just that. Whatever the topic may be, cleaning products, candles, foods, makeup, bath stuff, any and all of it. My focus is going to be to use up what I have, especially before acquiring new. Now, of course, that doesn't always work. If I use up a product that I use constantly, obviously, I'm going to go out and buy more. But for things that like a bunch of different skincare serums or different skin masks or whatever the case may be, that's just the most prominent example in my mind right now. When I use one up, instead of going out and rebuying, ooh, let me go and try this new one, I'm going to continue to use up what I have before I allow myself to go into a season of, okay, now let's go ahead and maybe try the new products or buy my ride or dies or whatever the case may be. We're in a use it up phase. For my annual goal of cultivating an exceptional marriage, the theme for Q3 is play. And that just can mean have fun, which I think was my goal last quarter, possibly, maybe. Fun is so important. And if you are in a relationship where fun is not something that you prioritize, I urge you to consider giving that a try. And fun can be a lot of things. It can be flirting. It can be trying new things together, going places, playing games, just being goofy. And so my priority for the month is to find and seize opportunities to play. For my goal of find an opportunity to perform music, I've kind of turned this goal, transformed this goal into a find an opportunity to do music, which can mean a multitude of things, right? But my husband actually suggested this that I'm going to hold him to in some way, shape, or form. We were watching the Tony Awards actually separately. He was on a plane watching them in the sky, and I was at a friend's house, but we were texting back and forth, and he made a comment about how maybe this summer we should focus on really consuming more musical theater and not just like going to it, but like get a subscription to Broadway HD, take in more musical content, and I'm gonna hold him to that. I think that is a great idea. He even offered the suggestion of like, let's just tell people, hey, tonight we are showing Hamilton starting at 7 p.m. and whichever one of our friends want to come over and join us are welcome to come over and join us. And I think that's going to be such a fun thing, even if we don't do it every week, to do it maybe once a month. Like, what a great idea, because the friends that we're making are also musical theater, at least, inclined individuals. Why not take full advantage of that and open up the opportunity to welcome people into our home as we are engaging in this thing that we enjoy? But regardless of if we have people over or not, I want to hold him to this and have a musical summer. Do musical things, watch musicals, just re-immerse myself in that thing that brings me so much joy. And we've already started. We started binge watching Smigadoon, which is on Apple TV Plus. And if you have Apple TV Plus and you like musicals, you have to watch it. You have to watch it. Every single moment in that show is just bringing me so much joy, and just when I think it can't get better, it does. And the opener to season 2, it's just so good because so if you have no idea like about musicals, then you have no idea what I'm talking about. But if you do know musicals, watch the opening of season 2 and remember that the last show I was in was Pippin. That's all. The joy, the sheer joy that fills me when I've been watching this show is great. And I'm sad there's only 2 seasons right now, but you know, it is what it is. My point is, it's a very musical summer. The annual goal of upgrade my kitchen skills is actually going to take a little bit of a steer into more of a grocery budget and meal planning focus. I have a new dietary focus for this quarter, and if all goes well, for the rest of my life. I have told you guys about this in a past live stream, and it will be coming out in my regular content, but long story short, I am starting intuitive eating. With that comes not needing to track my macros, track my calories, things of that nature. But what I don't want that to turn into is a willy-nilly sort of lifestyle. And the reality is, when I meal plan, everything in the kitchen runs better. I know what I'm having for dinner. I know what days I'm supposed to be cooking. I'm guaranteeing that my husband and I have healthy and nourishing meals to satisfy us all week long. So I want to get back into the this is the meal plan, this is what we're doing, this is meal prep day, here's all the prepped snacks habit, which I've kind of let fall to the wayside. So there's always something that resembles a plan, but even just yesterday I was cooking and I ended up having to cook on a day where I had 45 minutes between a coaching call and my live stream. And I was like, why did I do this to myself? How did I get myself in this situation? And the goal of things like meal planning and prepping ahead and doing all those things is so I don't end up in that situation anymore. And the grocery budget side of things is just, let's see, it's more of a game. Can I reel it in? How much of this lifestyle can I do on a tighter budget? My annual goal of leveling up my editing skills, that has just kind of transformed into an overall, what is my YouTube focus for the month? And I put down as my quarterly goal, clarity in my brand switch, focus, whatever the case may be. And as I mentioned, I am making the jump into intuitive eating. And so a lot of my content is going to go right along with it. Now, let me be very clear. There is still plenty of room for all the content about healthy foods, what I eat in a day, recipes, all of those things. Everything that I've been sharing is still going to be there. It's just the intentionality behind it is going to be a little bit different. And I think for a lot of people, it will actually be very freeing to see this content in a whole new life. But for me personally and business-wise, having to go, oh my gosh, I'm changing this identity of who Diva in the Divine is, who I am as a person. Kind of, sort of. I'm no longer going to be able to identify as a dieter, which is mind-boggling because that's kind of all I've identified as for almost 15 years, right? But because of this, it kind of gives me the feeling, the panic mode of a brand identity crisis. So my goal is just to kind of solidify and have confidence in the choices I make surrounding the shift that's happening in Diva and the Divine. For my annual goal of become more intentional about my time management and limiting time wasters, I'm actually just focusing on time management. I've written up a schedule that I have literally taped to my desk, and my goal is to follow it. I know, I've said it before, but I have a different level of determination this time around because I have so much else that I want to do that I will be able to achieve a whole lot more if I actually follow through and stick to the time management focus. And then read the books I have, which is the annual goal, which I'm kind of sort of doing. I have been reading books on my shelf, but I've also acquired a handful of new books throughout the year as well, I'll admit it. But this year I just put summer reading. Do you remember when you were a kid and you were in school and summer reading program was the thing? You left school and what your goal was to read X number of books or certain books or whatever you had to read over the summer, and you either got rewarded for it or something of that nature. So I was like, you know what, let's just do Brianna's summer reading program. And so I have a stricter, no, it's not even a stricter reading schedule. My goal is actually smaller. I have a daily goal of reading 10 pages a day, But 98% of the time, I read more than 10 pages. And there have been days where I've been sitting down and reading for 45 minutes to an hour, and I've been devouring books at a much quicker rate, which is amazing because I have so many things, both things on my bookshelf and new books, especially around intuitive eating and that lifestyle, that I want to be consuming. So if I prioritize summer reading, then I get to consume more of the content that I would like to consume. Okay, that's everything. My quarterly goals refresh, my refresh for the next 90 days, the next 3 months, and the next reset will get us, can you even believe it, into the fall and winter season. It's crazy to me that the year is half over. It's just poof, gone. Where did it go? I have no idea. Oh, and it's worth mentioning at the bottom here, it asks you, what is your word of the season? And my word of the season this season is clarity, because I am definitely in a stage of transformation and transition. So making sure that I'm clear on where I want to go, who I want to be, what I want to create is super important. So clarity is the overall priority, the overall focus, the overall focal word for the third quarter. Now I want to hear from you. Are any of your goals switching for the quarter? What is one of the things that you're going to be focusing on strictly for the next 90 days? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like this kind of content, feel free to join the Diva and the Divine community by clicking that little subscribe button. And if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up as it does help me out. Thank you for watching. Take care, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.